There is something happening in your life right now, Capricorn, and you may not have the words for it yet. Something is shifting beneath the surface. It is not loud and it is not sudden, but it is real. You have been moving through a long stretch of time that felt heavy, slow, and at times deeply uncertain. You kept working, kept pushing, kept showing up even when no one was watching and even when the results felt like they would never come. That is who you are. You are not built to quit. But lately, something inside you has started to feel different. A quiet signal is coming through. Not the kind that shouts, but the kind that you feel in the early morning before the day begins, or in the stillness of a night when everything goes quiet and you are left alone with your own thoughts. That signal is telling you something important. A turning point is near. Not somewhere far off on the horizon. Not in some future version of your life that feels out of reach. Near. Close. Coming in ways both large and small. This video is going to walk you through 11 signs that this turning point is already beginning to show itself in your life. Pay attention. Some of these will hit closer than others. Some may describe exactly what you have been experiencing without knowing what to call it. Trust what you feel as you listen. Your instincts have always been one of your strongest gifts, even if you have not always given them the credit they deserve. Sign 1. You have started waking up with a different kind of energy. For a long time, Capricorn, mornings may have felt like something to survive. You opened your eyes and the weight of everything you had not yet accomplished, everything you still needed to do, everything that was not quite right, came rushing in before you even had time to take a breath. That is a familiar feeling for you. You carry a lot. You always have. The responsibilities you hold, the standards you set for yourself, the goals you refuse to let go of even when they wear you down. All of it has a weight that most people never see because you carry it so quietly, so steadily, that it looks effortless from the outside. But something is changing in those early moments of your day. You may have noticed it already, or you may notice it now that someone has named it. There is a different quality to the energy you wake up with. It is not necessarily that you feel light or joyful in some dramatic way. You are a Capricorn. You are not usually the one to leap out of bed with overwhelming enthusiasm. But there is a kind of quiet clarity that has begun to appear. A sense that you know what the day is asking of you. A sense that the effort you are putting in is starting to point somewhere meaningful rather than just filling time. That shift in morning energy is not small. It is actually one of the earliest signs that a turning point is near, because the body and the spirit know before the mind does. When something is about to change for the better, the first sign often comes in the quality of your attention when you first open your eyes. You may find that you are thinking about specific goals with a focus that feels sharper than it did several months ago. You may find that a problem you have been stuck on for a long time suddenly feels approachable. You may find that you have ideas in the morning that actually excite you quietly, in that Capricorn way where you do not jump up and down about it, but you feel it as a steady hum of purpose. This is worth paying attention to. This is your inner world signaling that something real is beginning. The turning point is not only something that happens to you from the outside. Starts inside first. And it starts in those quiet early moments when no one else is watching, and the only thing that matters is how honest you are willing to be with yourself. Sign 2. Old situations that kept you stuck are losing their grip. There have been situations in your life, Capricorn, that you stayed in long past the point where they were serving you. Maybe it was a relationship that had stopped growing but that you kept tending out of loyalty or out of a quiet fear of the unfamiliar. Maybe it was a job or a role that no longer matched the person you had become but that felt safe because it was structured and known. Maybe it was a belief about yourself, something someone said years ago that lodged itself in your thinking and made you smaller than you actually are. Whatever it was, Capricorn holds on. That is both a strength and a difficulty. Your loyalty, your patience, your willingness to endure. These are real gifts. But sometimes they keep you in places that have already given you everything they were meant to give. When a turning point is near, those old situations begin to lose their grip. Not because you forced them to let go. Not because you made a dramatic decision or had a confrontation. But because something inside you has simply started to outgrow them. You may notice that things which used to feel heavy and binding now feel lighter, as if the emotional weight they once had is slowly dissolving. You may find that you can look at a situation that used to send you into anxiety or resentment, and now you feel something closer to calm clarity. That is not indifference. That is readiness. The turning point approaches when you stop giving your energy to the things that have been draining you and start being drawn naturally toward what is ahead. You are not abandoning anything. You are completing a chapter. And Capricorn completes things. You do not leave things unfinished. But there is a difference between finishing something with dignity and clinging to something that has already ended. When you start to feel old things releasing their grip on you, do not be afraid of that. Do not call it loss. Call it what it is, the first clearing of space for what is coming. If what you are hearing feels accurate, know that it could happen if you applied this energy consistently for 21 consecutive days. That is the 21-day challenge pinned at the top of this channel. It is built around daily guidance, focused direction, and real momentum. If you are tired of staying in the same cycle, that structure is exactly what has been missing. Sign 3. You are thinking about your future differently. There was a time, perhaps not so long ago, when thinking about the future felt like either a source of pressure or a source of numbness. Either you were overwhelmed by everything you had not yet achieved and the timeline that felt like it was running against you, or you had gone quiet about your own hopes because the disappointments had started to feel like they added up to a message. That message was, stop expecting too much. You are a Capricorn, which means you already know how to be realistic. You know how to assess a situation without flattering yourself. You know how to look at the facts and work with what is actually there rather than what you wish were there. That is a tremendous strength. But sometimes that same realism tips into something else. It tips into a quiet contraction where you stop allowing yourself to fully imagine the life you want because it feels safer not to want things you might not get. Something is shifting in how you think about your future, and it is one of the clearest signs that a turning point is on its way. You are beginning to let yourself think forward again. Not in a reckless or unrealistic way. This is still you. But there is a quality of genuine possibility coming back into your inner vision. You are starting to see not just obstacles but also openings. You are starting to consider not just what might go wrong but also what might actually go right. You may find yourself making small plans that feel real. Not plans made out of obligation or out of anxiety, but plans that feel connected to something you actually want. You may find yourself returning to a goal you had set aside, not with resentment at the time that passed, but with a sense that the time was necessary and the goal is still yours. This is how a turning point begins from the inside. The inner vision clears. The future starts to look like something you are walking toward rather than something you are waiting to survive. Sign 4. People in your life are responding to you differently. Capricorn, you are not someone who needs constant validation from the people around you. You have never been the type to require applause for everything you do. You keep your head down, you do the work, and you trust results over praise. That is part of your character. But what is happening now is different from ordinary validation. The people in your life, whether family, friends, colleagues, or even strangers you encounter in daily situations, are beginning to respond to you with a quality of attention and respect that feels different from before. You may not be able to pinpoint exactly what has changed, but you feel it. When you speak, people listen a little more carefully. When you make a suggestion, it is taken seriously. When you walk into a room, there is a subtle shift in how people orient toward you. This is happening because something has changed in you, not in some surface way, but at the level of how you carry yourself, how you hold your own energy, and how you present your intentions. When a turning point is near, it often becomes visible in the mirror of other people first. The outside world starts to reflect back what is quietly becoming true on the inside. You are in a period where your energy is beginning to align more fully with your actual purpose. That alignment is something other people can feel even if they cannot explain it. Do not dismiss this as coincidence. Do not brush it off as people being in a good mood. If you are noticing that the quality of your relationships and interactions is shifting, that is real information. It is telling you that you are moving into a new phase of how you show up in the world, and the world is beginning to respond accordingly. Sign 5. You are being called back to something you left behind. There is something, Capricorn, that you set aside at some point in your life. Maybe it was a creative pursuit that felt impractical once responsibilities piled up. Maybe it was a path you were on before life shifted the direction and you adapted the way you always do by being practical, by doing what needed to be done. Maybe it was a version of yourself you used to know well but have not visited in a long time. Someone with a particular dream or a particular lightness that the years have covered over but not extinguished. When a turning point is near, things that were set aside start to come back. Not as regrets, not as reminders of what you failed to do, but as quiet invitations. Something you used to love will cross your mind again. Something you used to be good at will present an opportunity to be practiced again. A feeling you used to carry, maybe hope, maybe creativity, maybe a specific kind of joy you felt in a specific kind of work, will return and tap you on the shoulder. Capricorn does not usually respond to this kind of thing with open arms. You are careful. You are practical. You do not want to get your hopes up about something that might not lead anywhere. But this time, the return of what was set aside is not a distraction. It is a direction. It is a signal that the turning point ahead includes a reunion with something that was never truly lost. It was waiting. And now you are ready to receive it again on terms that are different from before. Terms that include the wisdom and the patience that the years have given you. Sign 6. The discipline you are known for is becoming effortless. You have always had discipline, Capricorn. It is one of the things that defines you. But if you are honest, you know that discipline has not always felt effortless. There have been long stretches where keeping yourself on track required enormous willpower. Where doing the right thing, making the responsible choice, staying consistent with a goal or a practice felt like swimming against a current. You did it anyway because that is who you are. But the effort behind it was real, and sometimes it was exhausting. Something is changing in that. You may be noticing that certain things you used to have to force yourself to do are beginning to feel more natural. A routine you used to fight is now just part of your day. A habit you used to struggle to maintain is starting to feel like something you actually want. Work that used to feel like something you had to drag yourself through is starting to feel like something you are genuinely pulled toward. This is one of the most significant signs of a turning point. When what was once effort becomes alignment, it means you are no longer pushing against something. You are moving with it. The path that was always meant for you is beginning to feel like a path your whole self wants to walk. Not just the disciplined, determined part of you, but the deeper part that wants to feel alive in what it does. Discipline without joy is sustainable for a Capricorn, because you are built to endure. But discipline with genuine momentum, with a felt sense that what you are doing is right and real, is something else entirely. It is unstoppable. If this message is resonating with your sign right now, trust that it is not a coincidence. When the universe wants to speak to you, it sends exactly the right signal at exactly the right moment. And you are here because you needed to hear this today. Your support, whether as a subscriber or as a member of this community, is what keeps these messages alive. The ones that touch hearts, awaken minds, and transform lives. If this video has been making sense to you, drop in the comments the day you were born. Let us keep going. Sign 7. Rest is starting to feel acceptable. This may seem like a small thing, Capricorn, but it is not. You have spent a great deal of your life treating rest as something that had to be earned. Something you could allow yourself only after the work was done, only after the goals were met, only after you had proven that you had done enough to deserve a pause. The problem, of course, is that for a Capricorn, enough is a line that keeps moving. You accomplish something and then immediately orient toward the next thing. You cross a finish line, and before you can catch your breath, you are already looking at the next distance you need to cover. This is part of your greatness. But it has also meant that genuine rest, the kind that fully restores you rather than just stops you temporarily, has been hard to come by. When a turning point is near, one of the quiet signs is that rest starts to feel different. Not lazy, not like failure, but like a real and necessary part of the process. You may find that you are able to sit still without immediately filling the silence with productivity. You may find that you can take a walk or have a quiet meal or simply do nothing for a short time without that familiar background noise of guilt telling you that you should be working. This is a sign that something is healing inside you. The relentless driver that has pushed you for so long is learning to trust that the ground will still be there when you come back to it. And it will. The work will still be there. The goals will still be there. But you will be better equipped to meet them when you have had the space to actually recover. The turning point is not just about achieving more. It is about becoming more whole in how you live your life. Sign 8. Your relationship with money is shifting. Capricorn is one of the signs most associated with financial responsibility. You are careful, you are strategic, and you take your obligations seriously. You rarely spend recklessly, and you understand the value of long-term thinking. But there is a difference between having a healthy relationship with money and carrying money as a constant source of anxiety. For many Capricorns, the latter has been the reality for a significant portion of their lives. Not because they are irresponsible, but because the weight of financial responsibility becomes a kind of pressure that never fully lifts. When a turning point is near in your life, you may notice that your relationship with money begins to shift. It does not necessarily mean that a large sum arrives, though that is possible. It may mean that you start making decisions about money from a place of confidence rather than fear. You may find yourself thinking about what you want to build rather than just what you need to protect. You may encounter an opportunity that seems realistic and well-structured, something that aligns with your practical nature, but also points toward growth. You may find that a financial situation that has been pressing on you for a long time begins to ease, not all at once but steadily. This shift is a sign that the energy around you is changing. The season of scarcity and strain is giving way to something more spacious. Not recklessly abundant, that is not the Capricorn way, but genuinely and solidly sustainable in a way that allows you to breathe. Sign 9. You are becoming more comfortable with being seen. Capricorn is not a sign that typically seeks the spotlight. You prefer to let your work speak. You are private by nature, sometimes to the point of being closed off, and you have often found that the people who matter most to you did not always know how much you cared because you showed it in actions rather than words. You have also protected yourself from being seen too clearly in your vulnerabilities, your fears, your uncertainties, because being seen in those places has not always felt safe. Maybe there were times when you let someone in, and what you showed them was not handled with the care you had hoped for. Maybe the message you learned early was that to show weakness was to invite disappointment. That message has been with you for a long time. When a turning point is near, Capricorn, you will notice a subtle but real shift in your willingness to be known. Not in a way that feels reckless or out of character, but you may find that you share something with someone that you might have held back before, and it feels okay. You may find that someone sees something real in you, and rather than deflecting, you allow it to be seen. You may find that the relationships that matter to you are deepening because you are allowing them to, because you are no longer holding everyone at the same careful distance you used to maintain as a matter of protection. This is growth. This is the turning point operating at the level of your heart. And it will change not only how others experience you, but how you experience yourself. Sign 10. The work you do is starting to feel like it means something. There is a difference between working hard and working purposefully. Capricorn almost always does the former. You are built for effort. You can put in long hours, meet high demands, and maintain consistency in ways that genuinely amaze the people around you. But sometimes the work has felt disconnected from a deeper sense of why. You have done what needed to be done because it was responsible, because it paid the bills, because it built something concrete, because you were not the kind of person to walk away from a commitment. All of those reasons are real and they are good. But they are not the same as feeling that the work you do matters in a way that goes beyond the practical. When a turning point is near, you begin to feel a shift in the meaning of your daily work. The things you do start to feel connected to something larger than just the immediate task. You start to see how what you are building fits into a longer vision that is actually yours, not just a set of obligations you accepted, but something that reflects who you are and what you care about. Even if you are not yet where you want to be professionally or creatively, you can feel that you are on a trajectory that leads somewhere real. That felt sense of direction and meaning is one of the most important signals a turning point can send. Because when the work feels like it means something, you do not have to force yourself to show up. You are drawn. And when a Capricorn is drawn rather than just driven, there is truly nothing that can stop them. Sign 11. A deep knowing has settled inside you that things are about to change. This last sign is the most quiet and the most profound. It is not something you can point to on a list or explain logically to someone else. It is a knowing, a deep settled feeling that has taken up residence somewhere in the center of you and that tells you, clearly and without drama, that things are about to be different. Capricorn does not usually put much stock in feelings that cannot be backed by evidence. You are a practical sign. You trust what you can see and measure and verify. But this feeling is different from wishful thinking or naive hope. It is not asking you to pretend that everything is fine or to ignore real challenges. It is simply a quiet certainty that the chapter you have been in is reaching its close, and that the next chapter has a different quality to it. You may have been carrying this feeling for a few weeks, or it may have arrived very recently. Either way, it is real. It is your inner knowing recognizing the shift before the outer circumstances have fully caught up. Capricorn, of all the signs in the zodiac, is one of the most capable of building something lasting and real out of genuine opportunity. And what is coming toward you is genuinely good. Not perfect, not free of challenge, but real and aligned with the effort you have put in and the patience you have maintained through seasons that tested you in every possible way. Trust what you know. The turning point is not just near. It is already beginning. If this message resonated with your sign, trust that it is not a coincidence. When the universe wants to speak to you, it always sends exactly the right signal, and you are here because you needed to hear this today. Your support as a subscriber or as a member of this community is what keeps these messages alive. They are the messages that touch, awaken, and transform. If this video made sense to you, leave in the comments the day you were born. Capricorn, you have spent so much of your life being the one who holds things together. The one who stays steady when everything around you is moving. The one who plans, who works, who endures, who shows up again and again because that is what you do and that is who you are. You have not always been celebrated for that. The world does not always know how to honor the quiet ones, the consistent ones, the ones who build things brick by brick over years rather than through sudden spectacular moments. But what you have been building is real. Every day you showed up when you did not want to, every goal you kept even when it felt distant, every relationship you tended with loyalty and care, every responsibility you carried without complaint, all of it has been adding up. Not disappearing, not being wasted, adding up to something. The turning point you are approaching is not a reward handed to you from somewhere outside yourself. It is the arrival of what your effort has been building toward. It is the moment when the long patient work of your life begins to pay off in ways that are visible and felt. That is different from luck. That is different from fortune. That is earned. You are not standing at this turning point by accident. You are here because you did not quit when quitting would have been understandable. You are here because your standards, your seriousness, your deep sense of responsibility, your refusal to take shortcuts even when the shortcuts were available, have shaped you into someone capable of receiving and sustaining what is coming. The next chapter of your life, Capricorn, is going to ask something of you that the previous chapters have been preparing you for. It is going to ask you to step more fully into the life you have always been capable of living. Not the safe, contracted version where you hold yourself back out of caution. The full version. The one where your ambition, your heart, your wisdom, and your capacity for deep and lasting work all operate together. That is the life that is waiting, and you are closer to it than you know.